Today's video is for teachers, leaders, and anyone who needs to write a self-assessment at the start of the school year for their evaluation. It's tricky to do this well because you want to be honest, but you also don't want to put anything that sounds too negative into the evaluation system. So at the end of this video, I'll explain how you can download a guide to writing your self-assessment, so don't worry about taking notes. Welcome to my channel, Lead with Love and Love to Lead. My name is Madden-fuoco, and I love helping teachers and evaluators because I really believe the teacher evaluation process can be one that supports teachers' growth. So sometimes in the teacher evaluation process, there are steps that we feel like we do just because we have to. But for all of these required steps, I encourage folks to think about how you can make it a useful task for yourself, even if it is something you're required to do. So with the self-assessment, we all know the value of reflecting on our practice and thinking about how to build on our areas of strength and improve on our areas of growth. And the beginning of the year is one of the best times to do this kind of reflection, as we're still setting up our routines and our systems and our plans for the school year. So there are 4 steps to writing your self-assessment. Step number 1, determine what is required in your state or in your district. So for example, in Massachusetts, we're required to submit a self-assessment at the start of a new plan. So that means if you're on a 1-year plan, you'll submit a self-assessment at the beginning of each school year. But if you're on a 2-year plan, you only submit the self-assessment at the beginning of the first school year of that plan. Step 2, brainstorm about your strengths and your areas of growth. Once you know what's required, I encourage you to brainstorm about your areas of strength. What do students, families, and colleagues tell you that you do really well? And then for your areas of growth, what do you feel could be stronger in your practice? When you look back on last year, what is a challenge you faced that you feel you want to better address this school year? And for your areas of growth, I encourage you to think about what were some negative things that negatively impacted students that you feel you could do better in your practice to better support students with. Then after you do this brainstorm, I want you to try to narrow it down to 3 areas of strength and 3 areas of growth. In Massachusetts, there's not a specific requirement for the number of areas of strength and growth unless your school has set one. But I think that 3 of each is a good number to aim for. Step 3. Connect to the rubric. So what you're going to do for this step is for each of your areas of strength and each of your areas of growth, you're going to connect it to whatever rubric is used for your evaluation. So to do this step, you'll look through whatever rubric is used for your evaluation. Maybe it's the admin rubric or the teacher rubric, and you'll try to match each area of strength and each area of growth to an element on the rubric. Now, sometimes you might find that a strength or an area of growth you identify doesn't match the rubric. And what I recommend for that is you can always tag something to one of the elements that relates to reflecting on your practice or growing professionally. Step 4, write about each of your areas of strength and each of your areas of growth. So for this, I recommend a strategy that's really similar to what we teach students. We often teach students the CER strategy, claim, evidence, reasoning. So in the CER strategy, we ask students to make a claim, support it with evidence or an example. So that's exactly what you're going to do for your areas of strength. You're going to make a claim, explaining the area of strength, and then support it with 1 or 2 examples. To write the claim, you can often take language directly from your rubric. So if you're a teacher and one of your areas of strength is related to curriculum planning, you could take language directly from the rubric and write, I design units of instruction with measurable outcomes and challenging tests requiring higher order thinking skills that enable students to learn the knowledge and skills defined in state standards and local curricula. So that's language that I just pulled directly from the teacher rubric. Now for your area of growth, I have a slightly different recommendation for how to write this. So you can still pull language directly from the rubric, but I actually recommend beginning with a strength you have related to your area of growth. So if this were me and I were writing about my area of growth related to how I handle conflict, what I would start with is I would start by sharing one or two strengths that I have related to conflict. So I might say, I am not afraid of conflict and always enter in hopes of increasing understanding and finding solutions. However, I sometimes struggle to communicate my ideas in a way that is positive and assumes best intentions, especially when I'm mad. I have made progress on this, but it is still sometimes a challenge, so I want to continue working to always communicate in a positive and constructive way. So you can see here how I communicated my area of growth, but I also communicated it within the context of explaining some of my strengths related to conflict and also communicating some progress I had made. So now you're ready to proofread what you wrote and upload it into the evaluation system. So I've included a link to this document that'll guide you through how to write your self-assessment. So make sure you click that link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in the topic of teacher evaluation, I've got lots of other videos on my channel that you can check out. And if this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And you can also click that notification bell to learn about future videos. And share this video with all your teacher and leader friends, because my mission with this channel is to support leaders' growth so that they can support teachers' growth. And remember, if you lead with love, you will love to lead.